Campbell's comments getting out and about. Thanks to all my sponsors. Woodlands, of course, have come on board for this one. Nick Beale joins me. Firstly, hello, Nick.
Yeah, Paul. How are you?
I'm very, very well. You'd be a little bit happier than me, I would imagine.
Yeah, very good. Obviously, I drove a winner by your sponsors, Resident Stallion, down by the seaside last night.
ROCKAWAY Beach we're talking about. Firstly, what a win. It was a good win, barnstorming finish.
Yeah, he has that established race pattern that we got to drive him quiet. Had to back myself a little bit just to try and find a spot and use him maybe a little bit more than David would have liked, but we did establish that would be a smarter move than trying to go back and make the run. We got the brakes at the right time and the horse let down super.
It wasn't an easy drive, and if I've done my job properly, I'm actually going to have the race going underneath here. The first question I asked you is, Chris Elford said anything to you? You gave him a little bit of chin music through the race, but it wasn't by design. I mean, pretty keen to get running. They were going very, very slow, though, through those middle sections. The bloke in front was loitering, actually, wasn't he? Yeah,
well, he gave his horse every chance, and she's one of my favourite horses, so I won't hold that against him. I love that horse. But this bloke, he's tricky. He doesn't pull too hard on the driving gear we've got set up for him, but he's not very comfortable on the bit. He moves around a bit and was touching the wheels, which then made him pull, and as a consequence, not being happy on that driving bit, got him pulling again. So he let Chris know that he was following him. I haven't spoken to Chris. I wanted to apologise. I didn't see him after the race. I wasn't. I'm not going to say that was by design, but I certainly wasn't in a rush to see him. I'm very sorry, but yeah, he just got travelling. He travelled super and never dropped a bit. And look, they went 29-4 last quarter, leader, I'm pretty sure. And he doesn't have an electric turn of foot, but he felt super.
It looked electric. You say it wasn't. He doesn't have an electric, but it did look electric when he lets down and strides. It's magic to watch.
Yeah, and it felt really good. It just didn't have that real pin to it. He was full of running, and then I kicked the plugs out. And as I said to Josh, we pulled up. I said, "Did you hang on?" And he goes, "Oh, I don't know. You had all the momentum." I said to him, "Mate, I don't know where the finish post was. I was too busy yelling." When those plugs came out, geez, he motored.
Right, a little bit about yourself. We're actually here at Dave Miles, and we've been a bit cheeky there before Dave was leading on the leader. You're an integral part here of Miles Racing.
Yeah, I've been on and off working here for about the last 9 years. I did VCAL through my high school, and I did a school-based apprenticeship, which was through Bendigo School, and I got to do all the certificates required to become a trainer and a driver. And David's numbers dropped after 3 years of that, and I went and worked for a galloping stable for 3 years, and then Henry had to move out because they shut Caulfield. I worked for Henry Dwyer. And David offered me a job back here, and August last year, towards the end of August, I had a crack at running my own team down at Cranbourne, and that went for about 6 months, and David invited me back here, and I was happy to come back.
And you enjoy it back here?
Oh, I absolutely love it. I'm still very good mates with a lot of the people down at Cranbourne. They were all wished me well after I won last night, and learnt a lot, but no, I'm very happy to be back here.
It is a challenge. Beale's not a common name in harness racing. Is there any other harness racing blood in your family?
Yeah, Dad's family. So his father was a trainer. He broke horses for Gordon Roffica and had a good association with Gordon and just trained his own horses. He had a good horse that ran third in the Victoria Derby, Ronnie's Gift, that Ronnie Ewick, who works for Gordon, gave him, hence the name Ronnie's Gift. He was a nice, handy horse. My uncle Jimmy was a driver, won the Victoria Oaks on Racy Rita for John Yeomans, and Dad's other brother, well, one of his other brothers is a trainer, still trains today. He trains just one horse called Major Bill. He's been going around, that's Glenn, or Sonny, because he's never really a bright ray of sunshine, so everyone calls him Sonny.
You can't be cheeky on Campbell's comments, mate. No one's allowed to be cheeky. Of course you can be as cheeky as you like. What is it about the industry that you enjoy, and probably coming from that thoroughbred background, what are some of the better parts of harness racing that we probably undersell a little bit?
Certainly undersell the involvement you can have with a horse. You can do a lot of this yourself. I train, drive, own, in conjunction here with David, Kalara and Sanity. I get to do all of that myself. that's something that you can't do with a galloper. It's very hard to train, own, because they're very expensive to run. And if you're a trainer, you're not normally going to be light enough to ride them in track work, let alone a race. So there's a lot that you can do yourself that's probably undersold. The horses are terrific, great temperaments. They're fun to work out. They're good little puzzles, but they're not nasty majority of the time. They're a docile breed. They're a hardy breed. I don't see why you'd buy a thoroughbred for $40,000 to maybe win a maiden at the Ewan sales and race it 6 times a year, when you can buy one of these guys. $40,000 will buy you a nice horse here, but you can buy a cheaper one, own it all yourself, and you can race maybe 3 times a week, 3 times a month.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a great aspect of the harness racing industry.
It's one of the things I'm trying to get out of here, especially right at the minute, because we're in the middle of winter and it's cold and it's wet. Mate, you guys are here in Montegaeta. I mean, if it's cold and wet in Bendigo, Ballarat, I don't care, anyone, if they want to have a competition, you go flat out to be much colder than wetter than here in Montegaeta. And it's one of the things I want to get people, I suppose, to be aware of, that it is still a great sport, albeit at the minute everyone seems to be so negative.
Oh, absolutely. Negativity is... it's never going to go away. Someone's always going to find something to sook about. If they're a negative person, that's what they're going to do. Positive person, you try and see the positives. But in negativity, there's always ways the industry can be better, 100%. Is the industry on its knees begging to be put down? No, I don't think so. I think we can keep thriving, or at least surviving, and trying to make this industry better for the next 10, 20 years. If I have a child one day... Caitlin's just walked out the room, so she probably didn't want to hear that. But if I have a child one day, I wouldn't mind if they grew up and wanted to be a harness racing trainer or even a stable hand, driver. Do whatever you want. This is a great industry that allows that.
What about your driving career? Is it something you want to continue on, or is it a training that you want to do, at a period of time?
I do enjoy me driving, getting out there and driving. That's always fun. But I look at it as a job that's fun. You got to be professional, do your form, be astute, make the right decisions. Not as easy as sitting there and going, I would have pulled out there, or I would have cut the inside there. So, no, it's definitely not as easy, but I love the puzzle of a horse. I love getting a new horse and just working out and trying to see what makes its brain tick. That's why I love training.
So training's your main love, although you're going to continue to drive?
I'll keep driving as long as I'm capable and competent, and I don't feel that I'm, 1, a danger, and 2, uncompetitive. But I will always love to train horses. Yeah.
How many winners have you driven? Because that wasn't your first winner last night, anyone wondering. I know, but it was just a good opportunity, as I was here a bit earlier, to catch up with you. But how many winners have you driven so far?
That was my second one.
What was it?
Yeah, that was only my second one. I've been close, a couple of close seconds, but that was only my second one. I don't know how many drives I've had. I wouldn't have had a lot, but my first drive was my first win. That was pretty sublime. In the middle of August, again, Kilmore. It was the last race, really cold, and made me doubt whether I wanted to be a driver, having to go out there in those dreadful conditions. But she led from 6 and stacked them up and got running, and she won good that night. And this bloke, he's won at Kilmore coming from off the pace and weaving a passage, so I might just stick to Kilmore, I think, in the winter.
You're a brave man. It's nearly 12 months when you think about it. Like August is, we just started July all but, so nearly 12 months. Hopefully the next one doesn't take 12 months to come around, mate.
No, I seem to have a tendency of breaking the duck and then waiting a long time. My first training winner was the last day of October, and I don't think I trained no winner for 10 months after that. So, but then won 4 in a year. So I got, maybe that might be the trend.
Well done, mate. Congratulations. Good drive. As I said, you might have kept Chris honest. That's okay. But I think it was a good drive, good patient drive, and you got the chockies up the straight. When you watch the replay and knowing that you've won, you can see you'll get the winner a long way out. But I must say it was pretty daunting at the top of the lane, I would imagine. But congratulations, well done to Molesy as well for putting you on as well. There's probably plenty of other drivers he could have put on as well. So well done, mate. Keep up the good work, and you got to run the show very shortly because Dave's off to Queensland, so you got a bit going on. Yeah,
we're going to get busy, but one good thing is Caitlin's here, and she's my partner, works for David full time, and she is probably one of the most integral people in getting this horse to win. She's done very good with getting him relaxed, getting in which sets what we're doing. She does a lot of his jog work and the occasional fast work. Don't fast work him a lot, but she does a lot of his work, and she just got golden hands, and that makes a big difference. And hopefully, look, I won last night, so that's good, but hopefully just how the horses are going, and that will give the other owners of David confidence that he can go to Sydney with a very good horse that he deserves to take to Sydney, Queensland, wherever he wants to go with it. That the show's not going to fall apart here. We can implement his system how we need to, and hopefully that gives the owners confidence.
Absolutely, I agree with everything you said about Caitlin, except for the one part. Her eye for harness is a worry for me, but that's okay. We'll bring that up another time, but that's fine. It's always clean. Anyone wanting to know, they're just a little bit green for me, but that's okay. Mate, well done. Thank you very much for joining me, and keep up the good work. Hopefully you get a winner very, very shortly, but always good to have some young people in the game and people that industry people may not know a lot about. So well done, mate, and keep up the good work.
Cheers, boys. Thank you.